So you want to know what's the best team comp for Huto? So you're gonna pull for her? Well, yeah, that's why you click this video. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe because we're almost near in 500 subscribers. So yeah, let's get right into the video. So now there's two team comps for Huto. It's either gonna be Vaporize or it's gonna be Melt. Now let's start with the Vaporize. So you want Bennett,
You want me on your
Shingshu,
team?
and then Sucrose. There it is.
I want to.
Now, you can switch your Bennett into Xiangling, but you will lose a healer and attack buff. I know Xiangling also provides an attack buff by her Guba, but I think Bennett is more better than Xiangling for Wu-Tao. So I suggest is Bennett, but if you want to, you can go for Xiangling. Now, for artifacts for them, for their characters, is for Bennett you want it to be Noble Sea of Blage. You want your flower, your flowers already have their own main stats. Your sands, you want it to be energy recharge or attack percentage. For Goblet, pyro damage bonus, and Circlet is healing bonus. For the best 5-star weapon for Bennett is gonna be Mid-Split Reforged, which is a 5-star weapon that is from a banner, but you cannot get him again. You will have to wait for a rerun. So, but what you can get is Aqualia, Fabuna, and then the Skyward Blade. Those are the 5 stars. For the 4 stars is Alloy Flash, and Pursuing Desire, Prototype Rancor, and Fabulous Sword. Now this sword is based on base attack because of the attack boost. And for your artifacts, I already said about it. So in the artifacts in here, I just want it to be healing. And for the weapon, it's basically about base attack. Because the attack bonus of the elemental burst is based on the base attack of your weapon and the base of your character when you're leveling, Bennett. For talents, you want to upgrade only is the elemental skill and elemental burst. I don't require upgrading this, but if you want to, then do it. But you will only need basically is the elemental skill and the elemental burst. Now for Xingshu, let's go start with the weapon. For the best weapon for Xingshu is Sacrificial Sword and the Fabulous Sword. Those are the 4 stars. In 5 stars, you can use the Skyward Blade. But I highly suggest is the Sacrificial Sword. For artifacts, it's gonna be Emblem of Severed Fate. And for the main stat of them is to start with the sands. You wanted energy recharge or attack percentage if you want to. But in attack percentage, at least I only suggest that if your energy recharge is above 200%. And for Goblet, you wanted hydro damage bonus, and Circlet of Logos, you wanted crit rate or crit damage. And for the talent priority, like the one who what do you want to level up is gonna be elemental skill and elemental burst only. You might be thinking, why is it level 40? I don't know why I have not leveled up my Xingshu, but he's still kind of useful. I just need to apply the enemies by Hydro just to do a Vaporize. And you want your energy recharge, just like I said earlier, is going to be 200% and above, because it's gonna take a while to recharge the elemental burst of Xingshu. And for Sucrose is you want it to be Sacrificial Fragments, or if you want to, also Fabulous Codex. I thought it was Condex. It was Codex? That's the first time seeing it. So you wanted Sacrificial Fragment or Fabulous Codex or Tuning Tales of Dragon. But I suggest you Sacrificial Fragments is because it has a chance to end its own elemental skill cooldown, so you can use it again, so the elemental burst will be recharged again. And the substat of this weapon also has elemental mastery, so Yeah, it basically it shares its elemental mastery. Sucrose always shares its elemental mastery. For artifacts, you wanted Burbage Vinegar, 4-piece BB set. So you guys know about this, about the stats of that. So for the sands is you wanted elemental mastery, goblet, elemental mastery as well. And for the circlet of logos is elemental mastery as well. I'm requiring elemental mastery because just to share its elemental mastery and to increase the damage of the vaporize of my Hutao. And to lower its elemental rest as well because of the very decent 4-piece set 4-piece set stats. And talent priority is gonna be elemental skill and elemental burst. Now, my sucrose is C6, okay? I just want to remind that it's C6. You might be wondering why is it 12 and 11. Now, what is so good about this team and what's so bad about it? What is so good about it? It's about the elemental burst of Xingqiu, because it constantly applies hydro to the other enemies. By the elemental burst, by the way.
Body and mind.
Now, the problem also of this team is that the elemental skill of Xingqiu. It has a
My
chance.
sword.
Like I'm gonna show you, okay?
Let me
I use
be
elemental burst and then elemental skill. It takes about 20 seconds just to recharge.
See?
That's what's the problem about it. So if you don't have the sacrificial sword, that's really bad, because it's gonna take so long to recharge the elemental burst of Xingqiu. It's kinda annoying. Very annoying. You have to wait for it. It's like 20 seconds. You have to wait for 20 seconds again to use the elemental skill, so you just can recharge your elemental burst. That's why I'm suggesting a sacrificial sword. I'm getting used to the claymore sacrificial, okay? So that's why I'm suggesting it. Now let's move on the other team comp. So let's just remove this team. Next team comp is gonna be Melt.
The hunt begins.
There's also a problem of this
Make
team
sure
comp.
to keep up.
My experiment.
Now, for the Yona, you want it to be the weapon is sacrificial bow, just to recharge its elemental burst and just so you can have a shield. For the set of the Yona, you want it 4-piece noble C. You might be wondering why am I using 2-piece retracing blade. It's for the shield. I just really need the shield. I don't like dodging the moves of the enemies. And the main stat you want it to be here is gonna be you want it either energy recharge or HP. I'm using HP stats just because of the shield, because the shield is scales off the Yona's HP. And the goblet, you want it to be HP as well. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you wanted energy recharge or HP percentage, and the goblet is gonna be HP percentage. On the circlet of logos, you wanted healing bonus or HP. It's your choice. Talent priority is of course elemental skill and elemental burst. Let's move on to Rosaria. The best weapon for Rosaria is Staff of Homa, which is a 5-star event 5-star. So you cannot get it. So you have to wait for the rerun, and there's a chance it might rerun on the Hutao banner. And that's the 5-star. And the second one, the second best weapon is the catch, which is this one. Now, the second best weapon is actually the catch, okay? But you want it with refinement rank 5. That's why it's second. Next one is Primordial Jade Wing Spear. And this next one is Black Cliff Pole. I don't have those weapons. For the artifacts, you wanted Emblem of Severed Fate. For the sands, you wanted attack percentage. And for the goblet, cryo damage bonus. And the circlet of logos, crit rate or crit damage. And of course, the same as well in Sucrose. I just said it earlier, it's the same. The problem with this team is that you lost an attack buff. What you got here is a crit rate buff and a shield and being able to run faster. But the problem is you lose the attack buff from Bennett. And you have to constantly switching to the cryo characters just to apply them cryo. But if you have Sucrose elemental burst and the cryo characters elemental burst is ready, you can apply cryo first to the enemy, so the elemental burst of Sucrose can be cryo infused with cryo, so you can constantly doing cryo. You have to gather them. And the problem also is that elemental burst, they have to stay in the AoV of the elemental burst of these characters. So that's why I'm requiring a gatherer if you're gonna use an elemental burst of this. So yeah. Now, Rosaria is really good because of Cher's crit rate, but what you lost is just the attack buff. Now, you can replace Rosaria using Chongyun, but you lost the crit rate because Rosaria shares its crit rate. But Chongyun will kind of infuse your normal attack into cryo. But if you're gonna use elemental skill of your Futao, it won't be infused with cryo. It will just turn into pyro. It will not infuse with will not turn your elemental skill into cryo damage. It still will be pyro. You can change Zayona into Chi-Chi, but the problem is that Chi-Chi's heals is way too much. It's like way too big. You want your Hutao is always like below 50% HP. That's why you want it. And for the best 4-star weapon is actually the Dragon's Bane. The Blackcliff Bow will deal also huge damage because of the substat of it is crit damage. But the Dragon's Bane will kind of win because of the substat of the Dragon's Bane is Elemental Mastery. And I tested this again of Deathmatch and Dragon's Bane. I said on the other video on the Hutao build, I said that Deathmatch will beat Dragon's Bane by doing Melt. And I was wrong. Dragon's Bane beat the Deathmatch because of the Elemental Mastery. For some reason. I don't know why. You might be guys thinking, oh, it's because of the passive. No, it's affected by cryo. So, it will only increase damage against opponents affected by Hydro and Pyro. So, it cannot be with the substats. Cannot be because of the passive talent of the Dragon's Bane. It can only be the substats. It's Elemental Mastery. So, you might be thinking, so what is the best team comp? It's Xingqiu. It's them. The one I said earlier, the Vaporize team. It's them. Why? It's because you only have one problem. Elemental skill of the Xingqiu.
Justice.
And in the Melt, there's a lot of problem.
Gonna be epic.
You need the Gatherer in the AoV of the... You need to put your Elemental Burst of the Gatherer in the AoV of the Elemental Burst of the... what do you call this? Of the Cryo characters. I just forgot their visions. And the problem will also is that you lost the attack buff. That's the problem. And the problem only in this team is that you just... is the elemental skill of Xingqiu. If you don't have the Dragon's Bane, I highly suggest now is Wish on the weapon banner. Because the Dragon's Bane is literally here. For the Sacrificial Greatsword, just good luck on wishing that. That weapon is kind of hard to get. For me at least, but it's kind of really hard. And also, some tip, you can do animation cancellation of Hutao if you gonna go Puffer. So you want 2 normal charge attack, 2 normal attack, and then charge attack. And then jump. But don't do what I did. It just suddenly canceled the charge attack. You can see there's no, and then jump. That's what you want to do. That is what you want to do. Okay. 2 normal attack and then charge attack. Or if you want to, charge attack and then jump. 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 That's what you want to do. So that will be everything. So if you have any questions, puberty right there. If you have any questions, you can just comment down below, and I might answer it depending if I have free time, because I'm kind of busy. Yes, I have a lot of assignments, and yeah, I'm still in school. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and it would appreciate a lot for me. And I'm getting close to 500 subscribers. See you guys.